Good morning, Starshines. Hello, hello, welcome. Welcome in. It is a somewhat dreary Saturday morning here. We've had, weather. Hi, Banks. Banks is currently climbing down my chest. Hi. Alright, Banks has climbed down my chest and over to the other shoulder. I'm free now. But yeah, hi, good morning. We're doing stitching today. I'm very happy to see you all. Good morning to Kali. Thank you for pouring. And then thank you for pouring my coffee. Muffin. Good morning, Muffin. Morning, Moon. Good morning, Toot. Morning, Crow. Morning, everybody else who's lurking. Binks, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Why are we just climbing Daddy? Okay, there we go. So, thank you, Muffin. We have to do Muffin pouring my coffee first. Off. I see you've read my secret message. I will explain why I did this. Alright, I'm putting... Thank you for pouring my coffee, Muffin. Your name is now on my coffee, which is very full. So I'm not going to try and show it to you. But it's in my dad mug. Because I sometimes buy myself dad mugs and pretend that the cats bought them for me. Okay, so the reason... We're working on this little sampler for the shop, and the reason that I did the first letter of every row and then the bottom row is so that I wouldn't have to count the border. Because the border is, like, attached to the letters. So I started with A, and then I just went down and did F, and then across, so that I would just do the border according to the letters. And then there would be no counting. There'd be no coffee, jeez. There'd be no counting. There would be no worrying that my border was going to line up or not. It would just be... It would be good. So... Habits. A little hydration there. So yeah, so I'm stitching on a shop sample today. I'm not using my my stand because I have this little ornament cut of this lovely fabric. So I have like an 8x8 cut of this mushroom lagana, and I wanted to use as little of it as possible, so I did this right up against the edge. And my clamp goes like here to here, so I can't really stitch on this in the stand. I'm just holding it for today. Can I just blow your mind with my no counting border? And the border is the biggest part of this piece. It's about half the amount of stitches of like the total piece. So I am doing it in bits and pieces. Basically, I did one strand of border and then... Well, I did 2 strands of border, and now I'm going to do one band, and then I'll do another strand of border, and then one band, and then border, etc. Etc. So yes, welcome. It's man, it's been a weird week today, this week, but I'm so glad to be here stitching with everybody. And yeah, just happy to be here. I'm happy to be stitching on this beautiful morning. I had kind of it was one of those mornings where all of a sudden it was morning and you had to do all of the morning things. So I'm just now like starting to sit down and like chill. Whereas usually I would have had a little bit more time to get myself, you know, combobulated. But nope. Nope, you're getting slightly discombobulated, DH, but that's okay. That's okay. So this week, I'm starting this sentence with no idea where it's going to go. This week, one thing that I'm really proud of that I did was get the Cat Cafe stitch finished. I can actually show you guys, it's right here. I not only got it finished, I got it FFO'd and photographed, which is a very speedy turnaround. Here we go. This is Cat Cafe. I love this frame, actually. I'm coming around to this frame. I wasn't sure if the frame was like too big, but it does kind of look like a slightly beaten up coffee shop counter, which I think works really well for this. So yeah, I'm really proud of myself for getting this finished so as quickly as I did, because this has like a solid deadline. We want to get this out and have the fundraiser start on August 1st. So I needed to get the stitch done. I needed to get all of the files done. I needed to get the socials done. I needed to get everything done so that I can get it out to the people that are doing the fundraiser with us so that they can do their stuff. So I'm really proud of myself for getting it done as quickly as I did. And that is my little win for the week. If you guys did something this week that you're really proud of, let me know. Even if it's something little. Binks is here. Binks decided to go on camera. Binks is back. Hey, 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 hey. No bullying between bog witches. Bog witches together strong. Thank you, Muffin. Yeah, I really like the way it turned out. That was one of our thrift store finds. So the only problem is it was one of our thrift store finds, which awesome. I found a really great frame for a really great price. I think it was a custom frame job because you know those little like bendy metal tabs that you have on the back of frames that you bend up and then you take things out and then you put it back in and then you bend them back down. When I went to bend these ones up, they fell out. They didn't bend, they just fell out. So right now the piece is literally just masking taped into the frame to keep it from falling apart. I will be taking it to Keymat because Kim will help me finish the frame. Because I had mentioned that I usually do thrift store frames, and she said, you know, if you ever need any help, like, with fixing those, just come and let me know. So I shot her an email. I'm like, help! She's like, yeah, just come in anytime, and I'll help you get it secured. I'm gonna do that. Hallie's proud that they dehydrated a bunch of stuff. Yes, oh my god, your dehydration. I mean, this is the only time that we will be pro dehydration, but the mangoes and the strawberries look so good. Have you eaten all of them already? Because I would. Muffin is proud that they did 400 stitches yesterday and 400 the days before, and today you're doing grown-up admin-y stuff instead of putting it off. Nice. Yeah, it's always a little win when the grown-up stuff that you have to do, you're like, I'm just gonna get this done. The first batch of mangoes is gone. Did a second yesterday, so I have more now. Oh, delicious. Delicious. Last night you did watermelon, so we'll see how that came out. Dehydrated watermelon. I mean, that is so much water. I'm really curious as to the watermelon experiment. I've never seen someone dehydrate it. dehydrate watermelon. Very cool. It's supposed to be super sweet once all the water is gone. Interesting. Interesting. I mean, I have heard that putting salt on watermelon can make it taste sweeter because the salt has a dehydrating effect, so maybe it's the same. Maybe it's the same thing. Makes sense. Or it could be completely different and I'm totally wrong. That also makes sense. This pattern I'm doing, I didn't update the project field for it because I'm going to be done by the next time I have a stream. It's only about 1,000 stitches, and it will be coming out in the shop. This was actually a Just Cross Stitch magazine reject that I really loved, so I'm bringing it to the retail shop. Watermelon has a huge amount of sugars, but they're diluted because it has even more water. Interesting. I want to know what it's going to look like. Because, like, I can't imagine the structure of watermelon without water. I really hope that you share with the class. If you guys don't already follow Moon, Moon does a wonderful thing Sunday evenings, although it might be Saturday evening to this week. I can't remember, or it might be next week. I don't know when Moon's doing the next one. Anyways, she has a community showcase, which is very cool. Next week for the next. Okay, so it's gonna be next Sunday. But she does a community showcase, which is very cool, and people just basically show off stuff that they've been working on. And Kali's been posting their dehydration adventures there, and I have been following along with great interest. If you guys don't know Moon, Moon is a fantastic cross-stitch and sometimes video game streamer, and one of the organizers of the 24 Hours of Cross-Stitch Raid Train, which we are going to be part of, which is so cool. Which is next week! I cannot believe it's next week already. Like, I feel when Moon and Anastasia started organizing this, it was like, okay, that's way far in the future, and now it's like here. So if you guys don't know, the next weekend is 24 Hours of Cross-Stitch, which is a cross-stitch challenge where people try and get 24 hours of cross-stitch in over the course of 3 days, not solidly. But Moon and Anastasia have organized a raid train here on Twitch. So if you want to get your stitching in, all you have to do is tune in to me, first of all, at 10 a.m. Eastern on Saturday morning. And I'm the first stop on the train, which is very, very cool. And thank you for giving me that opportunity. But a raid train, basically, I will raid into another cross-stitch streamer who will raid into another cross-stitch streamer who will raid into another cross-stitch streamer. And we'll just take you through cross-stitch streamers of Twitch. You'll get to do a bunch of stitching, get to meet a lot of new faces, get to see some familiar faces. It's going to be so much fun. And it looks like it was so much work to organize. Because, yeah, and Moon has done just an amazing job. And shout out to Commander as well, who has done the graphics for the raid train. You can see one of them down here. Raid train. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think it's just going to be fun. It's just going to be fun to, like, spend the day stitching and puttering around the house and, you know, with a lot of good body doubling, and it's going to be a great weekend. Big thank you to them for putting that together. I have attempted to do 24 hours of cross stitch in the past, like get the full 24 hours in. It's hard, guys. It's hard. Sorry. Collie's gonna take a picture before they leave for the day. Can't stay for the full stream today. Gotta do some overtime. All right, go get that bread. Get that bread, queen. Get that bag, queen. Go get some money. Of course, I'm always gonna shouty out you. Shouty you out. Shouty out you. Shouty out you. What is time indeed? Time keeps on slipping into the future, as they say. I have been working my butt off on marketplace stuff. Toot has been stitching their butt off on Patreon stuff. Marketplace feels so soon. I cannot believe I'm starting to release the teasers already. All these secrets are coming to light. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be like just a crazy weekend though, because the way it's set up is it's a show just for, it's a wholesale show. So it's not like individual stitchers are coming to buy stuff from me, it's shops are coming to buy stuff from us. And it's set up like a virtual trade show, so I have a virtual booth that I'm going to be at to talk to the shops and stuff. So I honestly don't know how busy it's gonna be, but I'm looking forward to it. Yesterday I was looking at other people's booths that they're setting up, so I could like get some inspiration. Oop. No, I slipped a thread. Did I slip a strand? Well, Mike, I'll tell you, that's also a song from my youth, because it's in the movie Space Jam. Did I wasn't supposed to do a stitch there. That's incorrect. So how did the threads get so uneven? Wow, I was really bad at... Len sends many dream grumbles and grunts and twitches. Oh, that boy is so chatty even in his sleep. I woke up this morning to that little gremlin biting my armpit. Like, not hard. Not in a mean way. But it was like, really? Really, you weirdo? But we love him. That's why Tobean's Cat Cafe and Rescue is the rescue where we brought Glenn home from, and that's why we're doing this fundraiser for them in August. Yeah, it's gonna be... I'm really looking forward to the fundraiser too. It's kind of like in my mind I have to get all of the marketplace stuff done and dusted and out and sent to people July 30th, and then I can think about and then I'm going to switch gears into all fundraiser all the time. But it's really, really cool. If I don't know how much I've spoken about the fundraiser on stream or in the server yet. But we are so fortunate in that we have the support of EMAT. They donated all of the supplies for 10 cross-stitch kits of the pattern, which we're going to donate in turn to the we're gonna donate and turn to Toe Beans, because they have a little shop of like local artists and cat themed merch. So we're gonna donate those kits so that they can sell them, and then obviously just we're not gonna take anything from the sale of those kits. It's just gonna go directly into their operating budget. Moon says that's so sweet. I know. Oh, it was so funny. I went to pick up the supplies. They even cut the Ada for me. I was so grateful. They gave me a stack of perfectly cut Ada. But I went to pick up the supplies, and we were chatting about it, and I asked, "Have you ever been?" And they both said no, and then looked at each other and were like, "Wait, I thought you've gone." No, wait, I thought you've gone. It was so funny. Keymat is a mother-daughter team, Megan and Kim, and they are both just lovely, lovely beings. You would have seen Megan in the little Floss Tube extra I posted of our talk at the Keymat Stitch Day. Just lovely beans. They are so heckin' sweet, Moon. So in terms of stitching, I've been super focused on Cat Cafe. Like I did it over the course of 8 stitching days plus 1. I'm considering it 8 stitching days because the last day I had 27 stitches left to go, and I could not do them before we had to go to bed, and I was so exhausted that I just was like, okay, I'll just do these in the morning. So I'm not counting that 9th day as a stitching day. But other than that, I've been working on my ridiculous wizard, who is so fabulous. I started a new shop sample, this one. And I started another shop sample, which is the Cozy Cursed Quaker, which is kind of like, I already had a shop sample stitched by one of our model stitchers. However, I want a copy for my, I want it to exist in my house, so I need to stitch it as well. So I'm kind of slowly working on stitching on that, but it's not my, right now that's occupying the sampler slot in my rotation, whereas this is occupying the shop sample slot, if that makes sense, even though they're both shop samples. And I was actually debating this morning whether to work on this or to work on my piece from Moon's birthday sal, because Moon turned 30. Congrats. And we all celebrated with a new start, and many of us did Moon themed starts, which was so fun, seeing everyone's like interpretation of Moon through cross stitch. Oh, I'm weaving in. I don't know why I sat back for that. So I started Celestial Witch from Stitch Sprout with a blue conversion, and it is turning out so good. I'm kind of jumping all over the place. I'm not doing like one color finish and then another color finish. I want to see how all the colors look, so I'm doing like one strand of this and one strand of that, and then like I'll fill in this little bit. It's a little bit chaotic right now. I will probably calm down once I have all of the colors in, but I'm really enjoying that stitch as well. So that was almost the stitch for today, but we're doing this one instead. My next several shop samples are all samplers. I do have a bigger piece that I need to start as well, but I have a bunch of little samplers, so I'm gonna knock those all out and then work on the bigger piece, which is another Saint Skelly. Very excited about that. Why is this floss being difficult to thread? What are you guys working on this morning, if anything? I know it's still early, so some of you may be working, well, at least for us in EST, so some of you may still be working on, you know, getting out of bed and getting caffeinated? Caffeinated. Early, can I use my... Thank you. You guys can see Early, yeah. Yeah, she's right here. But she's directly in front. Actually, I'm gonna move my tablet over... Ooh, over here. Dude is working on Loving Glen. Trying to get to work on Galaxy Kitty. That is such a pretty piece. That was Toot's start for the Moon Sal. And it's just a absolutely gorgeous little kitten. From a new place that we found on Etsy and then vetted for AI MOAR. And it was legit. It's called oh goodness, Enchanted Peach Pixels. Really cute little shop. Hey Gardens, welcome in. Moon is back in bed to be horizontal a bit more. Valid. It's Saturday. You work a normie job. Oop. I just completely pulled that all the way through. Early. Your adoring public sees you and appreciates you. So my tablet was here.
Is such a thing even possible?
And Early was sleeping here, and then I put my tablet over there, and Early has moved. But thank you so much for the wisdom of Cryon. Let's see what Cryon has to tell us today. Mike is stitching on a little piece that shows a possum with a rainbow background and the word screaming is self-care. I think I've seen that one. It's so good. Oh, fuck! Thank you for the hydrate, Gardens. Alright, so let me just take a little sip here. Okay. So Cryon is a galactic angel who spoke to the people of Earth through a How long has my mic been muted? I don't know if I did that or if Early did that. Oh, look at all. Okay. So, yes, the angel Cryon spoke to us through Lee Carroll, and his wisdom, the angel Cryon's wisdom, was collected in a series of books and then into an oracle card deck, which we now consult every Saturday to see what our message for the day is. It could be really helpful, it could be wildly unhinged, it could be a mix of both. I actually do use tarot cards and oracle cards. This is my usual disclaimer. I use tarot cards and oracle cards in my daily life, my daily practice, so this is not like a dig at people who do. This particular deck is just, it's 90s unhinged. So let's do 1 cut, 2 cut, see. Human being, know that you are dearly loved. I'm gonna talk to everyone like that now. Human being, would you like a soda? Human being, I'm getting up to do chores now. That's all the card says, look. And there's like this weird ass angel. Okay, I'm saying it is a nice message that we are dearly loved. but it's also unhinged. So thank you, Cryon, for reminding us that we are dearly loved. I'm unsettled. Moon says that they're hoping for unhinged. Well, you got it. Princesses seem to fit the vein of be not afraid. Yeah. Fear not. Toot says if you start calling me human being, you're ignoring my true self. Just FYI. Sorry. Cryptid. What would you like for lunch? Picture posted in Moonstream showcase of the watermelon. Oh. I don't have the technology set up to show you guys, but I'm going to go look and describe it to you. Oh my god, they're so flat. It's like watermelon jerky. That's so weird. One of them looks like a face. One of them looks like it's saying, moisturize me. Moon says I thought it looked jerky-like. And Kali says the texture is even rather jerky-like. Interesting. Interesting. Fascinating. A dehydrator is one of those things that we've kind of like, we've looked into getting it and then we haven't, and then we've looked into getting it because it seems like a good idea, but it also seems like a lot of work. And by we, I mean I struggle to cook most of the time. So adding like another thing to cook would probably sap a lot of spoons. Toot, however, has been eating a lot of dried mango because their Walmart for the summer season came out with, I went into the wrong hole. Came out with dried mangoes that are covered in like a spicy spice. I think it's like tahini or something, and she has been slamming those back as fast as she can find them. Mike says it reminds me of bacon, pink with a white rind. Yeah, very jerky-like. Here, let me see if I can get the picture into... Save that. I'm gonna have to replace my 24 hours of cross stitch poster for just a second. Oh, this is what we're talking about. This is the watermelon jerky. See, it looks like jerky. And I'll show you the one that looks like a face. It says, no, I have self-control. I enjoy the mangoes in moderation. Okay, yeah, that's true. This one, the one in the middle, looks like it's saying moisturize me. It's actually, it's actually, there's a thing, and I can't remember the name of the thing, and I can't remember the name for the type of thing that it is. It's a psychological thing where humans are actually wired to see faces and things. It's why there's like, it's why there's people see like Jesus in a slice of toast or something. We're hardwired to recognize human faces in things that aren't human faces. Reminds you of the chocolate. They're selling chocolate. I don't know what that, I do not know the reference. Alright, let's turn this back into what it was. I won't just have watermelon jerky up on the screen for the rest of spring. They do look really delicious. Freight train. Oh, it's from SpongeBob? I've never watched an episode of SpongeBob, to be real honest. they also kind of melt after you chew them. It's such a weird texture. I'm not a connoisseur of watermelon, but I feel like I need to try the watermelon jerky at some point. Sorry guys. Okay, Pao can come pick some up. Pao might eat all of it. Pao does enjoy a good watermelon. So sometimes when I'm cutting a melon, you know how like you can't always get all the way to the rind and you've got like the rind and then a bit left? I'll give her that because she'll eat chunks of the rind as well, but I'll give her that to chew on because again, it is it's enrichment. Also, the reason that we haven't had a Pao cam is because I need to move Pao's camera.
Morning, starshine.
The Catman, welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. So I will show you guys why we don't have the Pao cam, because I need to move the Pao cam. Okay, let's do that. And then, so right now we're on Jenny cam. This is going to look weird for a second. Oh, the Pao cam is just completely offline. So weird. Okay. Oh, I haven't updated it yet. Okay, anyways. Sorry about that. I cannot show you what the Pao cam looks like. But basically, I haven't connected to the new Wi-Fi yet. Yes, I just realized that. But basically, we gave Pao a new hide. So if I were to show you the Pao cam, all you would see would be a piece of cardboard and some bricks. And they'd be really blurry because they're really close to the camera. So I have not moved. I did the ADHD thing where there was a bottleneck in the project, and I just couldn't get past the bottleneck because I didn't identify the bottleneck. But I needed to find command strips, which we have command strips. We have many command strips. I just needed to get them out. Like, it wasn't even like I needed to search for them. I knew where they were. I just needed to get them out, and that has taken me like a week and a half. But look, command strips. I have them. After stream, I will be moving the Pao cam. That's one thing that I've been working on with my to-do list in a lot of stuff is like, okay, I've got this thing, like moving Pao's camera. Before I would just put it on my to-do list as moving Pao's camera, and then I would kind of be like, oh, I don't know where to start, so I'm just not going to do it. And I don't know how relatable this is to anybody else with ADHD. But it's like, okay, it's not one task. It's find command strips, take camera off its current mount, mount the camera where we're going to put it, set the camera back up. So it's actually like 4 different tasks. Alright, have good works, Kali. And I couldn't do any of the tasks because I didn't have the command strips in hand. Therefore, I didn't do anything. I've been really working on like working backwards through a chain of events to find what I need to find the mouse. Referring to if you give a mouse a cookie. which is a children's book. It is like, if you give a mouse a cookie, you'll have to give him a glass of milk, and if you give him a glass of milk, you'll have to do something else, and then something else, and then something else. And it's like this whole chain of events, so like, don't give a mouse a cookie because you'll have to do all these other things. So I need to find the mouse so that I can do the other things. In this case, the mouse was the command strips. So after stream today, there will be a POW cam, which is, of course, not in time for stream today. But there will be a POW cam. Also, how cute is this? These little mushrooms. I really like this little pattern. It's not... It's a little more traditional for me. It doesn't have quite the unhinged dichotomy that has been the hallmark of our design style. I really like it. It's just cute. It's little. It's a band sampler, but not quite in the style of band samplers. I like the color palette. I just like it. I just think it's neat. Right, so finish those. What color is the stem? 3823. Sorry, baby. And yes, I do keep small Star Wars figures in my floss box because I didn't want Glenn to chew on them, and so I put them there, and now they live there forever and ever and ever. Mike says it sort of reminds me of your little seasonal samplers. Yeah, it's the same kind of vibe. Even the seasonal samplers do use more of like a traditional serif alphabet, whereas this one is more like block letters. Okay, I guess we're just doing the end of this skein as one strand. We are not going to need this much. There are 24 stitches of this color in the entire thing. And I might just hop down and do the other 24, and that way I'm not, like, having to cut and reattach. And then I'll do another strand of the, border. It says color finish. Now I get to try and bury my floss, find my next floss, and attach it using only one arm, because Glenn is using my left arm as a pillow. At least he's using your left arm and not the right. Toot has been training Glenn to sleep on the left side so that she can do things with her right arm. Although occasionally she gets both Glenn and Sam, or both Glenn and Gigi, and then she just can't do anything but cuddle cats, and what a terrible fate that is. We had to negotiate him not using the right, yeah. And he's very vocal about his rights as a Siamese cat. I don't know why I keep leaning back to do stuff. You're here to watch me stitch and to fail at threading a needle. I'm using 28 count even weave, so I'm using a 28 needle. And I think this is one of the John James, but no, this is one of the DMC. The John James have a bigger eye. And struggling to... This eye just feels like extra tiny. I don't know if that makes sense. Just extra tiny. But, okay. Alright, I think that worked. I think that worked. Right, so now we're just doing the little stems of the mushrooms. So this little band sampler I just did, I had the alphabet, and then there's 4 bands of other autumn meme motifs separating them. And I deliberately kept them very small. I could have made this sampler a lot bigger, but I deliberately kept it very tiny. I had an idea, and I still might do this. I wanted to do like a Wheel of the Year type pattern, but with itty bitty little motifs. Like, ow! Sorry, Binks just jumped off my shoulder and whacked my headset into my ear. But like itty bitty motifs. So like the size of this mushroom. So for fall, I do like maybe 4 or 5 different autumn motifs, and then they'd occupy like a quarter of the circle, and then I like fade them into winter motifs and fade those into spring motifs. I think I still want to do it. I just need to do it. Oh, Toot threaded their needle and lost a Glen. I'm sure he'll be back. He loves you. Moon says I really like the idea. Thank you. I have another Wheel of the Year idea that involves cats that I am definitely going to be releasing towards the end of the year. Now that I'm kind of like at the tail end of marketplace prep, I'm finally starting to look beyond it and start to design for fall and winter, and I'm really excited about the stuff coming out for fall and winter, to be real honest. And starting to get kind of some of those creative juices flowing, and yeah, we'll see. We might end up with more designs in October just because I love Halloween stitching so much. I have been holding myself back on starting a new Witchy Stitcher. One of her older patterns is a set of vintage Halloween candy buckets. So it's like the Joanna Parker, yeah, Joanna Parker kind of exemplifies the style, but it was an existing style already. That kind of like vintage black cat look. So it's a black cat, an owl, and a pumpkin. And I want to stitch them as one piece and do like make the little pillow. I wish to do this. I think I even have a piece of my hand-dyed fabric that would be perfect for it. But I would also like to not overwhelm myself with whips. Unfortunately, I started 2 very large things. I mean, large for me. I do mostly smalls, so like anything over 10k stitches. Anything over like 5k stitches is pretty big for me. Honestly. And Wizard is 18 and Raven's Harvest Moon is 12. So those are big, very big pieces for me. There's still like there's so many patterns I want to do. I got the 2 new ones from Keymat, Blooming Quaker and Whimsical Quaker. And just like it never ends. The queue never ends. Rosenrot in our community, who is the designer behind the Banshee's Bounty. Let's do a quick shouty here. She is deliberately taking the month off from stitching her own stuff, so that she can stitch other designers' work. And I'm like, I understand this desire and this feel, and I'm really proud of you for doing it. Toot says that's a big piece for Elmo. It is a big piece for Elmo. And unfortunately, so I've received 3 paper patterns in the last little while, and I'm not a paper pattern stitcher generally. So I was like, oh, I don't have many other paper patterns. And then I went and looked at my shelf, and I've got a lot of like booklets, especially vintage ones, because I love them, that I might not necessarily stitch, but I love them. So I'm like, oh, okay, now I should probably figure out a way to like store these so they're not going to get beaten up more than they are. So I did, but in the process of doing that, I was flipping through all of these magazines and pattern booklets and stuff that I have, and I'm like, oh, I want to stitch that. I want to stitch that. Ooh, I want to stitch that. Danger. Danger. I also took a look through the Halloween dress cross stitch, like a real look. The first time I looked at it, I just looked for our piece. But there's some really good stuff in there too, especially one from Black Waltz Stitching. Oh, good. It's Spooky Movie Night, which, oh, I was gonna continue on. That's fine. We'll do it later. It's a Spooky Movie Night in her very distinctive style, and I was like, oh, this might be perfect for our like slightly spooky, your parents' basement style games room. But I kind of want to do that one. Sorry about that. The power cord for the camera keeps pulling it to the side. Okay. Alright. Do we want to move on to the next band, or do we want to do more of the frame? I feel like doing the next band will be more interesting for you guys. And I can just work on the frame mindlessly today. So what do we have? Yeah, I'll do the next band. Whenever I'm doing alphabet samplers or anything like that, I usually do the letters very last because they're my favorite part. So I save them for the last because I feel like they go faster, and also they're my favorite part, so I get to like, I can eat dessert after I eat my veggies. Moon says, laying down for a bit while meds kicked in saved me. I'm alive. Oh, that's so good. I'm so glad. Yeah, some mornings until the ADHD meds kick in, it's like, who am I? What am I doing? Hello, people of Earth. And it says I couldn't keep my eyes open, but also couldn't fall asleep once laid down. Yeah, I get that. I got my chest lung meds back, because you guys are probably aware of the wildfires, which are smoking up our skies. We had an orange day the other day. It was crazy. And so it's been affecting my breathing and affecting my lungs. And we've discovered, and by we, I mean myself and my doctor and my medical team have discovered that while puffers help steroids do not help. And what does help is muscle relaxants to actually like force the muscles in my chest to relax and stop freaking out. But you may be aware, muscle relaxants also make you kind of high. So I try not to take them if I have stuff to do. Because once I do take them, I get a little bit zooted. Not a lot zooted, just a little bit zooted. But that's been a godsend the last few days. Muffin is done with their admin jobs and is back in bed. Let's go, Muffin. GG's hype. Bow, 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 bow. I did that and Binks just yelled at me like, Father. Father, hush. Father, cease your noises. Alright, I'm gonna get this pumpkin started. We're gonna go for a little break. Hi, Lady K. I'm gonna hydrate. We're gonna go for a little break. 3 minutes to keep the pre-rolls off. You're not gonna miss much. I'm gonna just keep stitching on these pumpkins. Yeah, enjoy your break. Grab what you need to grab. We'll see you in 3 minutes. Bye! Welcome back. Mike says, I'm always curious when you design a sampler to see how you render a cue. Terminal initial, so it's part of your written signature. Usually I do it as a backwards P. Yeah, that's how I did it in this one too. Usually I do it as backwards P. Which isn't how I write them generally. Capital Q's, I do an O with a line through it. But I find in the grammar of samplers, a backwards P is more common. And I don't know, it makes more sense for me in a stylistic way. And Lady K came in. I did hydrate for you. Thank you for that. So during Moon's stream on Thursday night, yes, Thursday night, I did promise you guys some ghost stories. Because we were talking about ghost stories in chat, and I had taken my muscle relaxant, so I was not up to typing out my ghost stories. So I said I would give you some this morning. So if you guys are still interested, I do have ghost stories. I know Muffin was spookered because Toot is haunting their Twitch. Muffin's here for it. Alright. So. It was so wild. That is so weird, and I love that you thought it was Toot. Making sure I'm still thrusting my fists against the post. To make sure I have my stitch in the right spot. So, when I was in college, I went to a Catholic college. And by the time I went there, it wasn't a super Catholic college, like Mass was no longer required of the students, as it has been in the past. But there was a cathedral on campus, St. Ninian's. And next to the cathedral was a residence, like a student residence, a dorm, that had been the convent of St. Ninian's. Hang on, 1, 2, 3. And it was a very old, beautiful building. I absolutely loved it. It was called Gilmora Hall when I was there. We just called it Gil. And I lived on 3rd Gil. And it was significantly haunted. And it was so funny because the Minion Convent, banana. It was so funny because people would move in and be like, I don't believe in ghosts. Ghosts aren't real. And then they would move out a year later and be like, yes, ghosts are real. I believe in them. And and yes, they are real. Because I think every single person that lived in that residence had had some kind of encounter with at least one spirit. There were 2 main spirits that were known to inhabit the dorm, and I encountered both of them at some point. I saw the nun more frequently, but she was called the Blue Nun, and her backstory supposedly is that she was assaulted by a priest, became pregnant, and threw herself off the 3rd-story balcony in despair. And this story is really bolstered by the fact that the 3rd-story balcony is it's blocked off. You can't actually go out there. I did manage to go out there because there were workmen on campus working on the roofs, and they accidentally left the door to it unlocked, and I was able to go out there once. But that's her backstory, and she's given many different names. You know, Sister Elizabeth, Sister Mary, that kind of thing. But we usually just called her the Blue Nun. And she was more of like a maternal figure. She wasn't a scary ghost. She would take care of you. You would often feel her presence in like the lounge area, and you would go down and you just felt someone there. And I would be like, hey, it's just me. I'm just grabbing something from the kitchen. And then every now and then you'd feel someone sitting like on you when you were laying in bed. There was one night that I was laying in bed and I felt pressure, like someone was sitting on my legs. And I just said, I know you're there. I can't sleep. Do you mind just going away? And then the pressure went away. And I fell asleep. And then the next morning, I had lost a silver ring under the radiator. And my bed was up against the radiator, so I couldn't really get it easily. The next morning, that silver ring was sitting on my laptop keyboard. So I don't know what happened there. I did see her several times, down at the end of the corridor when I came up the stairs and around a corner, that kind of thing. The eeriest one, so I worked in the dorm as well as a porter, because until a couple of years before I went there, it was a girls only dorm. It was known as the Virgin Vault, but there's a porter at the door who basically lets people in and out who don't have their own keys. And there's a porter there 24/7, and I worked as the night porter, so I would work midnight to 8 a.m. And there's a small security camera that watched the other entrance to the building. And it also had a motion sensor on it. So it would beep, and then about 3 seconds later, I would see whoever made it beep cross the camera and go up the stairs or go out the door. So beep, 3 seconds later, see a person. Beep, 3 seconds later, see a person. That's how it worked. And then one night, I saw a person without the beep. And it was a person and I just caught a flash of it because I wasn't looking, because I didn't hear the beep. And I just caught a flash of it, and I looked up and I saw someone, and it looked like a long dress. And they went through the door without opening it. And I was like, what? So I went over to the security camera, the security thing, because there was a tape player under it. And I went and I looked, and there was no tape. There was no VHS in the tape recorder, so there was no record of this. Muffin, are you enjoying my story? There was absolutely no record of this, but I swear it happened. I was fully awake at the time. It was 2 a.m. And I very much saw a woman in a long dress cross the camera without setting off the motion sensor and disappear through a closed door. So that's the nun. The other spirit who was known to inhabit this building, who I also had a run-in with, but he kind of kept to the lower levels. Your internet is dipping in and out again. Please spare me, ghosts. I'm so sorry. So he mainly kept to the lower levels of the building, and I avoided those for that reason. But he was known as the priest, and he was a very malevolent energy. You felt like you were possibly in danger there. And he wouldn't attack people. But this is the freaky thing, because I would say of the 15 people who lived on my floor, 12 of them experienced this, including myself. If you don't completely tuck your desk, because every room had a bed, a desk, and a chair. That was what you got furnished with. If you didn't completely tuck your chair in or put stuff in the chair so no one could sit there, you would find the chair turned towards your bed in the morning. Not every time, but enough times that it was not coincidence. You would find the chair turned towards your bed like someone was sitting there watching you sleep. So we would tell new people who moved onto the floor, tuck your chair in at night. And then they would be like, yeah, whatever. And then it would happen to them 2 weeks later. I know, right? It's so creepy. So creepy. It happened to me because I forgot to tuck my chair in, and I was not okay the next morning. Toot says, not to distract, but babe, what's going on the YNZ on your piece? Absolutely nothing. They definitely aren't too short by half a stitch. I definitely didn't stitch them wrong. They are in no way short half a stitch. They're perfectly fine. They're just trying their best. Often says the ghost did it. So that's my collection of ghost stories and experiences that I had. I often encountered the nun. I would say I saw her enough times that I didn't keep track. And we're gonna fix it, yeah? I was actually just gonna leave it, honestly. I kind of like it. It looks cute. Andrew says, they're just little guys. Hi, Commander, welcome in. So yeah, I would say I saw the nun enough times that I didn't keep count of them. And definitely had my chair turned on me a couple of times. And then I believe he chased me down a hallway once, which was not okay. It could have just been because I freaked myself out and like, that one, I didn't see anything. I just felt like very unsafe and kind of fled the scene. But yeah, it was definitely like everyone who lived in that building was like, yeah, shit's haunted. Like there's no doubt in our minds. Muffin says we had the black nun who used to haunt the dorms in Fengrenog. We used to go there on school trips. I always pictured, you know, Whoopi Goldberg and Sister Act 2, Sister Act, specifically 2 in my brain. So I didn't find the myth very scary because I loved that film. I never saw her, but I was spooked and there was graffiti about her all over the underside of the bunk beds. Ooh, creepy. I'm just trying to think. There is another couple that I have that are good ones. Hang on.
Is such a thing even possible?
Oh, we're doing another Wisdom of Ion. Moon says the graffiti are creepier. Yes, they are. So let's do a Wisdom of Cryon, and then I have 2 more ghost stories for you. So we already got one benevolent but unhinged blessing from Cryon today. So let's see what else the deck has to say to us. Ghosts and aliens, what a treat. Hey Gwen! If you Google Black Nun Fengrenog, there's a bunch of stories about her. I just spit trying to pronounce that double L. I just need you guys to know this. Good morning, Gwen. And Nox, good morning. Yes, I've been telling ghost stories about my time when I lived in a haunted former convent. But Nox is a lovely, cozy streamer who streams horror games and gets very creeped out, and it's very fun to watch. So definitely, if you enjoy cozy horror, go and follow Nox. All right, let's see what Cryon has to say to us now. 1 cut, 2 cut. All right. I do not like this baby already. Love is power. Ask and pray for discernment and peace. Claim this power that you are so familiar with. It will bring you through. Love is the promise of the universe. I'm going with unhinged on this one. Like, Toot says pass. Like, love is power. And then Ask and pray for discernment and peace. Claim this power that you are so familiar with. It will bring you through. Love is the promise of the universe. What does that second sentence have to do with the rest of it? I like your interpretation, Lady K. Lady K says, I am a magical girl. Yes, you are. We are all magical girls. Yeah, the second sentence is so out of place. And this baby, let's talk about the baby. Let's not talk about the baby. Let's just turn the baby over. I would not like to speak about the baby. Yeah. No, the baby's back in the deck now. Cry on baby isn't real. Cry on baby can't hurt you. He just the fetus. Oh. Thank you for blessing us with this wisdom. Both Lady K and the Angel Cryon. Alright, so my second ghost story is about a place in the south called Octagon Hall, which is known to be haunted. Like, it's been on a ton of ghost busting shows, ghost hunting shows. And it's a historical house, a little museum, and they definitely lean into the creepiness. They have pictures of pictures that were taken of ghosts in the building. They have all the docents know all the ghost stories, and they have a few creepy mannequins just in case. Knox has a caramel macchiato with extra whipped cream. Oh, it would be so good right now. Oh, good. So, like, they know it's haunted, they lean into it, and there have been reports of ghost sightings, scratches, bad experiences and everything. I didn't experience any of that, but also I wasn't there overnight. She says docent is such a strong word for them. Okay, like the volunteers who show you around. We weren't there overnight. And I didn't spend very long. And so there's a room upstairs that was like the nursery, the children's room, and a young girl child is one of the ghosts known to haunt the area. And the room itself isn't that creepy because there's a few like period toys and such, but there's also a lot of modern toys because people will bring toys for the little girl and leave them in the room. So there's like a little pile of stuffies on the bed, which is super cute, and like people leave notes for her and stuff. So that was super cute. And then, but my experience was, as I was leaving her room, I suddenly got a very strong scent of flowers. Like, a very strong scent specifically of lilies. Like, I kind of looked around. I was, like, looking for one of those Glade plug-in things that just goes... Because it was so strong and it was so immediate. I'm like, you guys smell flowers? And the guy who was showing us around was like, no, but that's something that a lot of people have reported here. So that was my only experience with a very haunted place, was I suddenly smelt flowers, but it was very unsettling because nobody else could smell them, and I smelled them so strongly. And usually I don't like remember or pick out scents that much, but it was like when you walk by a good ice cream shop and you hear smell the waffle cones being made, which is my favorite smell in the world, by the way. And like it hits you and it is so strong. Or like walking by a Cinnabon, just that wave of smell, it was that strong and that like potent. So my last ghost story is not actually my ghost story. It's more about a haunted place in Nova Scotia, close to where I went to university. And this is kind of like one of those friend of a friend stories. So a friend of a friend went out to this place, which is not a good place. And And then so a bunch of them went out, came back into town, had some weird experiences, came back into town, went to the subway to have dinner because we had a 24-hour subway. The owner of the subway overheard them talking and saying that they just went out to the farm. And he said, "Get out of my shop. I don't want you in here with that, like, get out of my shop. I don't want that bad energy in here." So they were literally kicked out of the subway because they had just come back from this place. And, like, I don't know if this is true or not. Yeah, this is an urban legend. This is a friend of a friend that got kicked out of the subway. But there is a farm, little tiny farm. There was the farmer and his wife, and they didn't have children of their own, so they adopted a little girl, and the little girl's name is different depending on who you talk to. Mary, Mary Elizabeth, Elizabeth Ann, like one of those type names. I've heard Mary Elizabeth the most commonly. So they tried to be good to this little girl. They raised her as their own, etc., etc. And then one night she burned down the house, burned down the farm. I claimed not to have been the one to do it, but the place was in ashes and she was the only one left standing. That kind of thing. So the legend goes that she moved to Antigonish, which was the town where I went to university. She moved to Antigonish and made her living as a maid there. And actually, there is a Canadian true crime writer. I think he's passed now. His name was Max Haynes. And he grew up in Antigonish. And the little girl's name was Toot. Dun dun dun! No. Max Haynes actually grew up in Antigonish, and he wrote a book of stories of his own upbringing. And in one of them, he mentions that he knew Mary Elizabeth, and she was working as a maid. So he says that he actually knew her, but who knows? Anyway, the area where this farm is located, it's now in ruins, but it has been reported that people have heard voices, people have had like weird energy things happen, but there's also been time loss there. So like, say you went up with a bunch of friends and you parked, and people stayed by the car. The people stayed by the car would say that an hour passed, and the people who went into the ruins would say it was only half an hour, and like their clocks wouldn't match up. So that's the biggest thing about this area is the time loss. So like definitely there was something like weird going on at this farm. But yeah, it's less of a ghost story, more of an urban legend. I didn't tell it super spooky. I had a friend who was more of a local storyteller, and she would really gussy up the story. She got into the spooks. I'm not a fantastic storyteller. I tend to not use a lot of the storyteller techniques that make both a story interesting and also a story memorable. I studied this a lot actually in college. You'll find a lot of fairy tales have repeating phrases and motifs. And that is actually a mnemonic device to help the storyteller remember the story, and also to kind of pad out the story. Muffin says, "Well, I am spooked." Thank you for redeeming the tarot reading, Lady K. Let me just finish the stitch here. We'll do a little tarot reading. I need to drink because I've been talking a lot. I'm gonna hydrate. Everybody else hydrate. My coffee is getting down there, so I can show Muffin's name now. Muffin says, "Well, I am spooked, so it worked on me." Good, I'm glad. I am glad. Alright, so I've got my last Unicorn Tarot out again. Just getting my Book of Shadows out for reference. Got my black cat here, so we are definitely ready for a tarot reading. Come on, stay open. Thank you. My pendulum went slithering away. Muffin said some neighbors had a ghost called Queenie. They had a piece in the local paper about it. You sure you have the clipping somewhere but you can't find it online? We thank Binks for blessings. I actually turned off coworker appreciation because Early was sleeping in the closet and Binks was sleeping on top of the snakes when I started the stream. So I'm like, oh, there's nobody here. Alright, but let's do we're going to do a 1-card reading for Lady K. And this is my last unicorn tarot deck, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love because it's not just stills from the movie, it's like actual original art based on the movie. Like the... Stop twisting. Like the Hocus Pocus deck is all original art, which is so lovely. I love that Hocus Pocus deck. I might pull it out for next Saturday. Speaking of streamers who cross-stitch and read tarot and stream on Saturdays, Moon's special community stream is this afternoon, I believe. I say that and then I completely doubted myself. Hang on. Yes, community choice. Special community stream this evening. This afternoon starting at 6. Yay! Okay. So if you guys want to hang out with Moon this weekend, 6 p.m. Eastern is your chance. Alright, I think we've got this well shuffled. Thank you for the shout out, Toot. Alright, let's do 1 cut, 2 cut. Ooh, Page of Swords. Interesting. Interesting. Let's just pull up my swords. So swords are... Hi. Swords are a very fiery... very airy suit. And the page is usually like a young man. So he is page is usually a young man. So you can think of someone who's like an air personality and also a young foolish person. So the Page of Swords here is telling us that you might be curious about something, you might be into something, you might want to check something out, but be careful about being too hasty. A young man like the Page of Swords would rush on ahead, be impatient, and probably heck himself up in the process. So this could be good. This could go either way. Either it means that you being curious and talkative and excited about stuff could be a good thing, but also it could go too far. However, because I drew it face up, I think it's more about the curiosity. I think it's more about the curiosity now that I think about it. I think it's more about saying, like, follow that curiosity. Yes, I'm changing my mind. Speaking to me. It's about following your curiosity and finding new experiences. Let your curiosity run a little bit rampant today. Yes, and this image actually is an open lock. So yeah. Follow a trail of curiosity today. Go zoom. I think that's what the card is telling you. Oh, and my hand's starting to tremble, so I'm just gonna put that down. I get hand tremors if I try to hold things in a certain way for too long, which is why I don't knit anymore, unfortunately. Or darn socks. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed. And that you'll take that message of taking the energy of the Page of Swords and Exploring something new. Follow your curiosity today. I think I was interpreting it as a warning rather than an encouragement, because of my own mental state. But yeah, I think it's definitely encouraging that curiosity instead of trying to tamp it down. Dedicate says, I mean, warning of lock, but will do. It's an open lock, though, so it's, you know, love is an open door and all that. Gwen says, it always throws me off that wands are fire and swords are air. And Gwen says, same, Gwen, I always feel they are reversed. Same. I feel like they should be reversed, but they are not. And it makes way more sense in readings that they are not reversed, but yeah, it just, with just those two concepts of swords equal air and wands equal fire, that doesn't seem to make sense. But then in context with the cards, it does. Ben says, I did a pull last night before bed and got the 5 of Wands and just straight up assumed these were swords because that card is an all-out brawl. Oh, yeah. I love, the middle cards are always interesting because, and Commander, I see your ghost story. I will read it in a sec. I just want to follow this train of thought on tarot. Because tarot, the minor arcana, 1 ace through 10, is, it's a story, right? It has rising and falling action. So as you get closer to 9 and 10, those are kind of the resolution, the outcome of the situation, whereas the middle cards like 5, 6, 7 are the they're like the main action. So I can see, so the 5 of Wands would be right in the middle of the action of fire, which would be very, very active, very bullheaded, that kind of thing. So I can definitely see that looking like it was supposed to be a sword card. Meanwhile, you've got the 7 of Swords, which is it's right there in that middle rising action, but it has a completely different meaning where it's more about nightmares and the internal self. Yeah, okay, sorry. All right, let's see Commander's ghost story. There used to be an old abandoned manor where I grew up. It was huge, 3 stories high, apparently served as a school and a mental hospital in the past. My friends and I would explore it late at night, pretending we were going to MOAR. The group's leader would be Gandalf, and the only one with a flashlight, and the others picked up random lead pipes lying around as weapons to fight the orcs. In retrospect, it was pretty dangerous, busted floors and ceilings, random pieces of junk lying everywhere, broken glass. That place must have been haunted. Yeah, that definitely sounds like somewhere that would be haunted. And you sound like the kind of person who would wander into a haunted former mental hospital armed with a lead pipe with no flashlight. Muffin says we used to hang around in an old abandoned factory. We had a couch and an old bin that we used to burn wood in. We tell ghost stories around it. The good old days. That sounds fun. I never had anything abandoned around me. The closest thing to it was the building where I took one of my classes that was condemned the following year. I talked a lot during that segment. I'm just gonna drink a little bit more while I'm stitching on my pumpkins. And also, Binks is here. Binks, I'm stitching, I'm not petting you. I know, illegals. Illegal activity. Binks, I know it's the bog witching hour, but early might need a little bit of a break. Hi. Whoop. There you go, Earls, Binks, Earls, whoever you are. Alright, back to pumpkins. Yeah, this little pattern is only 1,000 stitches. I really enjoying it. Like I said, it's got the little tiny motifs and a non-standard alphabet. But yeah, I really like to do something with these little tiny motifs like blending into each other. So like a snowflake here and a mushroom here for the transition into winter, and just showing that like transition not so sharp. Muffin says there was an outdoor spot at the factory we called the Cage. It was our meeting spot. That sounds so safe. British says there was a river in the woods behind the old manor, not too far out, with a long and flat rocky bank. Teenagers would gather all summer to make fires and party. Sounds about it. That's about right, yeah. Suburbanite, so the only risky thing there was to do was explore the creek's rain-off drainage system and just see where the winding paths would take us. Ended up in my elementary's playground once that way. Yeah, I grew up in the suburbs, so it was much the same. A lot of the quote-unquote wilderness, the green spaces, the forests around us were very curated and well maintained. Biggest danger was full swing mosquito season. Ugh, mosquitoes. There was a Scottish poet who immigrated from Scotland to Nova Scotia, and he was very well known. And when he got here, his next poem was talking about the bugs with the flies with little swords that stabbed him. He wrote an entire verse about how much mosquitoes suck and their little swords. Muffin said we also used to hang out on the mountains and the reservoir culvert. Very safe. Very safe. Absolutely safe. This is fine. Man, the shit we did as kids. Like, even me in the suburbs, I'm like, I should have been supervised for some of that. You guys see how much black fur is on this piece now? I don't know how well you can see it, but there's just so much black fur on here now. I don't know if Binks is getting ready for summer a little bit late or something, but she's been very sheddy lately. Very floofy. When I was framing Cat Cafe, I took the lint roller to it so many times. Basically between every picture, I took the lint roller to it, and then I took the lint roller to it aggressively before I put it behind the glass. Because, yeah. The fur gets everywhere, man. Commander says I fear mosquitoes more than anything else. You should. Mosquitoes are the worst. Lady K says, I mean, we had the supervision of a teenage sibling / cousin. That totally counted. But as the smallest, I always had to go first into enclosed drains to be sure the others would fit. Amazing. Yes, kitty litter, as Toot calls it. It's the fur. Muffin's favorite thing to do was to go looking for slow worms. legless lizards that look like snakes, the best. Legless lizards are so cool. Let's talk about legless lizards for a minute. So legless lizards, a lot of people will be like, aren't those just snakes? But no, there are a significant difference. Moon going herping. Moon says Muffin is going herping. There are significant differences. So legless lizards have conical teeth, like cone-shaped teeth, meant for tearing, whereas snakes have like rear-pointing fangs, because they basically just like bite to grab on. They don't tear, and they don't continue to bite. They bite once and that's it. Also, yes, Lady K is correct. Legless lizards can blink. They have eyelids. Snakes cannot. Legless lizards also have ears, and snakes do not. So there are quite a few physiological differences between them, despite the lack of legs. They also have a different diet, I believe. They're more omnivorous, I think. I'm not 100% on that one. But yeah, you learned today. Muffin says we had a lizardy guy in the garden not too long ago. You don't know what he was? He was a lizard. Possibly. Possibly a snake. Yeah, legs, this one did. Okay, so I would say it was a lizard, because the only snake with legs is a ball python, and they're native to Africa. Moon says I excitedly told Commander about legless lizards and spilled coffee all over you. Aww. I mean, with the enthusiasm is completely valid, because it's very interesting, the difference between legless lizards and snakes. It is really interesting. Because you would think it would be one of those things where it's like, well, there is a difference, but only scientists could tell, or it's something genetic. But no, there are really obvious physical differences once you know to look for them. Mike says about the only lizards we have where I live are skinks. Oh, skinks are so cute. Itty bitties. Muffin says I want to go poking about the forest now, see what I see. Mostly we get hedgehogs, foxes, and mice. Aww. We mostly get raccoons. Sometimes rabbits. Moon says her coffee was just warm, thankfully. Did you make the coffee and then forget about it for a while? My coffee is creeping into forgotten on the stove temperature, but I have been drinking it considerably. Oh, and bats. There were bats in the forest around where I lived as a kid. Like, I say forest, it was a patch of trees, really. But they felt like giant forests to me. But there were bats that lived there. Moon says several months ago there was a wild turkey on my street. Wild turkeys give no hex. I was driving home from work one day, and a couple of wild turkeys just strolled across the street in the middle of an industrial area. Like, okay. Alright, look. I am not drinking the last swallow of my coffee. I do not want bad luck to follow me. I'm not superstitious, I'm just a little stitious. NK says, where I live, there are many snakes, mostly harmless, but occasionally diamondbacks or rattlers in more rural areas. Most are just little dudes. Yeah, and I think that's true of most places. Most are just little dudes. There's only one species of venomous snake in Ontario, and that is the Massasauga rattler, which are just little guys. They're just little guys. They are the tiniest, chunkiest little snake. Moon and Toot are the same person. Toot's gonna come drinking for me. Your one-eyed Nan used to leave some of for tea for the same reason. I wonder if it's a fairy thing. Like, I would not be surprised. I don't know why Commander does it, but I would think that one-eyed Nan, which is the best name, was probably leaving it for the fairies. Moon says the area of the city I live in is a bit removed from city center, so you've seen more fauna here. That's awesome. Yeah, like I've seen deer and coyotes and foxes, and I saw a fox once. More raccoons. There was a moose once that walked through our schoolyard when I was a kid. Don't know where he came from. He was very confused and lost. Muffin's one-eyed Nan was very wise. Trust her. I trust her as well. But it says, when I lived in North Dakota, I read a newspaper article about someone who was trapped in their car because they got surrounded by turkeys. Oof. I would not want to be surrounded by turkeys. Will do, Toot. The universe does not want us consuming the last sip of coffee or tea or any drink that might have leftover crumbs in it. Okay. I'm gonna say it's for the fairies. Lady K says, only thing that does a spook for me is when possums are traveling via power lines or an owl swoops by, because you just don't think of things moving above. Oh. Yeah, that would freak me out. Something suddenly coming down. Like, I was watching the ground. In Quebec, we have a viral meme video that is legit a news coverage of a woman whose house gotten broken into by wild turkey. Turkeys busted through the window. Oh god. That turkey just wanted some AC, man. Hot out here. Toot says, I grew up in farmland and frequently had escaped cows, donkeys, horses in our yard and wild turkeys all the time. My childhood cat would try to fight them all through my bedroom window. Yeah, she would take them down too, I believe it. There's a reason old Ben Franklin admired those turkeys. Thought they had a more noble fighting spirit than eagles. Yes. Fun fact, Ben Franklin wanted the bird of the states to be a turkey instead of an eagle. And now it's the bald eagle who sounds like a peregrine falcon. I think it's a peregrine falcon. It says, we more than once would look out front and just find a random cow just hanging out on our porch. The red hawk. Okay, yeah. Moon says, an infamous quote from it is, the insurance company won't pay out because they said no company covers animal damage, but I didn't invite that turkey in. Red-tailed hawk. Okay, yes, I was incorrect that it was a peregrine falcon. But yeah, whenever you hear that eagle scream, it's not actually an eagle because eagles sound kind of dorky. It's a red-tailed hawk. Like that person who complained about rats in the lawn and said no pets allowed. That's not the same thing. Also, guys, Early is sleeping and it's so super cute. See if I can move the camera without disturbing her. Yeah, she's just a little baby. Just a little girl. I can still stitch and you guys can watch Earls. It just won't be as close stitching, but I know why you're all really here. Baby. Moon says I love that she often sleeps face down. Yeah, she'll smoosh her face into something and just sleep like that. And then I'll hear like little snores. Alright, this is very uncomfortable to stitch, so enjoy early. I'm gonna move the camera back. Look at her little face. Face. Little face. Moon says, I imagine just pulling the curtains back and seeing a cow staring at you. That would be somewhat terrifying. Oops, now you get to see my ceiling. Because I hit the wrong button. Toot says the donkey in the front field was a zonkey. Part zebra, part donkey. I've seen a zonkey before. It was like, it looked like a donkey from the top down, but it had zebra legs. Woo, ceiling stream. Okay, ceiling stream. There you go, ceiling stream. You can see some of my cross-stitch pieces. You can see one of my cross-stitch pieces. That is Fruit Bat Summer. Yes, I love cross-stitch. I would hope you do if you're here. I don't know if I posted a picture of my wall in the server, but I should. When we had the technician out to install the new internet, I had to move my desk because the internet connection is behind the desk. So I took the opportunity to hang some cross-stitch pieces because the cross-stitch wall is behind my desk as well. But like with the desk in the way, even if you put a stepladder up, it would be really hard to reach the top. So when the guy came, I moved the desk this way, and then I could put a stepladder up against the wall and get the high stuff, which was really great. And I discovered that I discovered that I actually do have room. I thought I had hung Deadly Aquarium just slightly too high, but I have room above Deadly Aquarium for at least 2 more 8x10 frames, maybe 3. So that's nice. But yeah, I love my wall. It makes me very happy. Muffin says we had a farm nearby that we thought had some sort of zebra horse hybrid. It took us a few drives past to realize they were just wearing zebra print raincoats. They have to be comfy cozy. There is the funny thing is driving around in Nova Scotia, there's a lot of farmland there. There's a lot of cows, there's a lot of sheep, and the funniest thing is the herds of sheep, the farmers would often get a llama to go with their sheep. because the llama becomes attached to the sheep and then gets very protective and territorial, so it deters like coyotes and things like that from attacking the sheep, because it will actually defend the sheep. So you'll be driving and you'll see a a field full of sheep and one llama. Muffin said it was during COVID. It was our first few trips out after a long time indoors. I blame the cabin fever for just accepting there were zebras on a farm nearby. Yeah, I was about to say too. It says there was a guy in Middle Tennessee who kept exotics, so you'd be driving down the highway and randomly see a giraffe or a zebra. Alright guys, we are going to go for our next break. I can't believe it's break time already. This was zoomed by. So we're going to go for another break just to keep pre-rolls off. I am going to probably finish with this orange, maybe. I'm not going to say anything. You're not going to miss anything. So go grab a drink, grab a snack, grab whatever you need. And I will see you guys back here in 3 minutes. Bye! Hello friends, welcome back to DH Struggles to Thread a Needle, and is also playing Floss Chicken. There we go. Yes, we're going until 1 today. It's a bit of an experiment. I usually only stream for 2 hours with a mic stream. And the reason for that is because I have lung damage from COVID. And it was talking for 2 hours is a strain on my chest and my lungs. However, I am recovering. Slowly recovering. Hey Chris, good to see you. It's been a while. I'm slowly recovering. I'm starting to feel better. So we're gonna test out doing 3-hour streams. See how I feel, honestly. Today is a bit of a stress test because we're still dealing with the wildfire smoke. However, good news. It's raining out. I stood up and stretched on the break. It's raining. Yay. Folks, I'm so happy for the rain. I hope it'll break the heat and break the smoke a little bit. Alright, I do not want to play. Oh, I have to thread this needle again. I'm not going to play Floss Chicken for the last row of the pumpkins. I'm just going to attach a new thread. It's fine. It's fine. We can attach a new thread. It's not giving up. It's not losing anything. It's just making our lives easier. I don't even think I have a needle threader up here. Ugh. I do. Oh my god, my needle threader won't go through. Here. Oh. Alright, we have to peepaw this, so you're not gonna see much because I'm peepawing. By peepaw, I mean looking at things over my glasses, because I am very nearsighted. Frick. Click in the thread, get it through the needle threader. I need 2 half stitches. Work with me here. Toot says, I was eating spicy mangoes before the break and brushed my teeth on break and panicked for a minute about why my toothpaste was suddenly orange. Oh no. Suddenly orange. Look at that back. This is such a neat back for me. Especially this orange patch. Very pleased with that. Show you guys again. Look at that. So pleasing. Into the ort jar with ye. My ort jar is looking like so empty now. I have 2 ort jars. I keep one on my desk and one in the living room. The one in the living room is equally empty because we put all of our orts into gumballs. So going forward, Toot and I are doing like 1 gumball per month of orts. So I'm just keeping 1 month of orts at a time. And I might get a smaller jar. This jar looks very large. If there's some like good Halloweeny witchy jars at the Dollar Tree, that might be a thing that happens. I think this is the song I use for my stream ending song. I use Harris Heller music for everything. He's good. One says I bet a tea light candle holder will make for a cooler jar. Ooh, it might. How many orts would 1 month of orts be if 1 month of orts could ort? And see, all of my needles are down the other end of the house, so I can't even switch needle brands. That's okay. I actually do have more needles in here, but they're... I have packs of needles. Like overflow packs of needles. I have so many 24s. And I don't really use 24s anymore. I use them on Wizard Boy. It's the only project I use a 24 on. Usually I'm a 28 or a 26. Which is so funny to me. Because when I started stitching, I was using like an 18 or a 20. And like, that was a choice. I made choices. Ah. Enjoy your snack. Ben says I use one for a pencil cup at work and just thought it would be good for it too. Interesting. Mike says, speaking of Halloween, I was surprised to see a Halloween ad in my email. I think it was Michael's. Yes, Michael's has their code orange stuff out already, which is amazing. Love Halloween season. So glad that at Michael's it starts in July. Hey, Shazi. You've been getting Michael's and Spirit Halloween emails since like June. You're so excited. Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense for Michael's to be like a season ahead because of crafting times, right? Like if you're going to make something for Halloween, you have to start before Halloween. And if you're going to make Christmas gifts, you have to start before Christmas. So they are always like really ahead on the seasons. This needle is going in the pointy ghost after, I swear. Muffin says, I think I started my Halloween shopping in May. We've definitely already started our Halloween shopping. Oh my god. Hey, thank you. But no, that's not right. Ah, it just split the... Okay, I'm gonna mute and go find a different needle, because this one I bent the eye on. Hang on, guys. I am too mighty for my own good. Gwen is trying to convince themselves to go to the city for shopping. Because you're woefully low on tank tops, but you're so tired and 3+ hours of driving does not sound like a good time. No, it does not. We have, there's a 24. John James 28s. DMC 28s. DMC 22s. Look at those thick boys. Okay, I'm gonna use an assorted 26. I don't even know what these are. I think these are 24s. Then I got my chenille needles in 20 and 22. I got these tapestry needles. It was like 10 for $3 or something like that from Millions of Stitches. I have no idea. It says no brand on them. Literally no brand. Long periods of driving are never a good time. Yeah, Shazi is out and driving all the time. Shazi lives in the works in the outsides. Glenn woke up and was watching me and Chi-Chi, but that's my mama. That's not your mama, that's my mama. Drive by Bing Sing. Ow, 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 ow. What did you knock over, my child? Thank you. Binks just knocked something off my desk and got spooked and skittered up my arm with claws out. Yay, okay, needle is threaded. It's been like 10 minutes of me threading this needle. This is I do, and I drove lots yesterday. It was a 13-hour day. Oh, oof. Your shoulders are upset with you? I can understand that. This 26 feels enormous, but it's working well, so we're going with it. Gardens is collecting other people's hair for some reason. To frame them from crimes, obviously. Obviously. I'm really enjoying this even weave. It is a Brittany Lugana? Do those words make sense? Or it's just a Brittany? I don't know. I don't know the differences. I'm really enjoying it though. I have definitely come around to working over 2. I mean, I adore linen. So that's working over 2 all of the time, but I really like even weave for its evenness. I know that it's called even weave because it's even. It's Brittany, bitch. Yeah, it might be. Because it's even. The first time I used even weave, it was very plump. And it wasn't that easy to use because the strands were so thick that the holes were hard to find. But I've since discovered that not all even weave is like that, and most even weave is more like this, where the holes and the strands are about the same size. You're settling in for your Nana nap? Thanks so much for streaming. You are so welcome, Muffin. Thanks for sticking around for Ghost Stories. Have a good night. Toot says rest well. Also. Ooh. Hydrate time. I just cue up the Minecraft drinking sound every time I do that. But yeah, it's nice to be almost through with marketplace stuff. I have all of my ducks in a row, everything is lined up, and I can start thinking about stuff for the shop again. Stuff for the Patreon. I just finished the Build-A-Witch for this month. The winner of the poll was just a duck doing his best. And I love it. I am very happy with what I came up with. So that's going to be going out to the Patreons very soon. Ooh, Shazi's other supplies came. New project will be started in the near future. Yes. Shazi is converting some of our designs into diamond paintings. I'm very excited to see what they end up looking like. Very excited. It took me longer to thread a needle than it did to stitch that entire row, because I had to go and find the needle. Alright. Gwen's gonna do the thing. Good luck, Gwen. Also, boo. But good luck, Gwen. You got this. Shazi's excited about it. It's been rolling around in your head for a bit and finally took the steps to make it possible. Yay! I know that can be so hard. We were talking about it earlier in the stream, about that ADHD bottleneck thing, and how I've had to move Pow's camera for the last like 2 weeks. I'm pretty sure it's been 2 weeks. And in order to do it, I have to take down the camera. The base that it's on is currently drilled through to the top of the enclosure. I need to unscrew that. I need to move the base, and then I need to put the camera back up. So it's going to take me like 5 minutes to actually do, but the thing that was stopping me, I have the drill bits, I have the camera, I didn't have the command strips to put the base back up. So I just needed to get out the command strips. I didn't even need to find command strips or buy command strips. I just needed to take them out. And it took me like 2 weeks to do it, but I have the command strips out. Identifying bottlenecks is my new ADHD technique. Even like the reptile room was messy. Like there was stuff all over, and I was a little bit overwhelmed by it because there's stuff all over. Anyway, I was like, okay, what's the first thing that needs to get done? And I'll just work on that. It took me like 5 minutes to get the reptile room habitable again. Like it still needs more work, but it took me like 2 or 3 minutes to take care of it. I swear, with the way that my brain handles tasks is unhinged and not helpful. Not helpful at all. Toot just sneezed after doing your nasal rinse. It's a mess. Oh no. Oh no, that sounds awful. I might have to try a 28. This needle is not liking. Moon emphasizes so much. Emphasizes? With me or with Toot? Because it's just the one action. You have to find the mouse. But like, I've been sick for a week, so some of the rooms have just, like, my office is a disaster. I'm not showing you my office because it is a disaster. But once I get going on it, it's not going to take very long to fix. And then I just need to keep it that way. And it's the keeping that way that I struggle with. Thanks. Sorry, trying to stay on camera here. I had an idea of how to attach a different clamp to my desk stand, because my desk stand has the two like wooden bits that hold that pinch, which isn't my favorite style of clamp. I prefer just like a clamp. It's easier to me. So I might harvest a clamp from my floor stand and move it over to my desk stand. Two says, lads, if it's ever to the point where I need to do nasal rinses as directed on the box, 2 packets every 2 hours, just let me go. Okay, I will let you go at that point. Jazzy says, Tanglin and I had a convo like this the other day. She said she didn't realize how overcrowded her craft area got. I told her we won't talk about the one side of my desk at the moment. It creeps up, man. It creeps up. My desk also is... It needs work. And it's not fair to Early, because this is where Early lives. This is where Early sleeps. This is her happy, safe place. And it's full of crap. And she deserves better than that. Because she's my little princess. She shifted and moved facing the other way, but still has her face buried under the keyboard to sleep. Yes, that is my project today. Getting office and reptile room habitable again and good for reptiles and Early. Yay. Happy project. Sorry guys, 1 second. I'm just going to turn this off and figure out what just happened. We just got an emergency alert. I just want to read it and see what's going on. Oh, tornado watch. Okay. Thank you. Just wanted to see if there was anything I needed to take care of there. The government alarm gets you every time. It's so jarring. I didn't think you got tornadoes so far north. We do. Yeah, we do occasionally. A tornado touched down about a mile away from where Toot and I were going to get married the day before our wedding. I called the venue and I was like, are you guys okay? Like, can we still do this thing? And they're like, yeah, it missed us. I am sorry if the mic picked that up. It probably did. I apologize. I don't know if the mic picked it up or if the mic cut it off because it was too loud. Oh, it did? Oh no, I'm so sorry guys. At least you're awake now, but I'm so sorry. I'm getting cute aggression over this. Bee-doo, 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 windy winds, bee-doo, bee-doo. Yeah. Bee-doo, it's heckin' windy out here, boys. I'm getting cute aggression over this pattern. Like, the motifs are just lil. I'm happy. So the next one is an acorn. So this row is acorns, and this row is like coffee cups. And then that's it. And then it's just the border all the way around and the alphabet. I keep a sketchbook, like a physical sketchbook for design ideas. I'm not a very good traditional artist, like I'm not great at drawing stuff, but I do like to keep a sketchbook for sketching out ideas and designs and things like that. And I did some research for like seasonal motifs and things. So I just have a page that's just like list of stuff for different seasons and like little tiny doodles, because it's hard when you get to this scale to sketch, because every single pixel counts, and it's hard to convey that in a sketch. Shazzy says it's warm here. It's windy here. Mr. Shazzy says it's warm though. He has ventured out of the house. I have not. Stay inside. Relax. Diamond paint. Life is good. But I've said this before, and I still think it's true. Designing small is way more difficult than designing large. Way more difficult. Because if I was designing a pumpkin and I kind of gave myself unlimited reign and I wanted to get a super detailed pumpkin, I could do that, but it would be large. I find that the real challenge for me is when I want to represent something, a concept, an object, trying to get it as small as possible is a big challenge. That's why I'm really excited for these Build-A-Witches, because they are on such a small scale. And I'm gonna be coming up with a bunch of different ideas for a little tiny scale. I'm really impressed by Una Bueno Piazza and Flossy Fox. They have kind of nailed the tiny motifs market. Snailfish's stitches as well, but their stuff isn't always my vibe. But Flossy Fox especially is very good at managing to convey what something is supposed to be using as few pixels as possible. And she does that a lot with context clues. Like something that might just seem to be a few random pixels stacked together on its own, in the context of the full piece, you're like, oh, that's definitely a cat. Or, oh, that's supposed to be a birdhouse. When out of the context of the piece, it might be unrecognizable. I think they're really good at that. We're a member of the Flossy Fox Patreon, and it is danger every month. There's been 1 month at least where I have literally dropped everything and started their Patreon piece the same day it came out. That was a cozy post-apocalypse. I just needed it. I needed it. And now they've come up with 2 more pieces that are the same dimension, so like companion pieces. I don't know if I'm going to stitch one of them, but the other one Toot's going to stitch up. It's called Journey Through the Forest. It's got like fantasy elements and a Baba Yaga hut. I love. And I'm not subscribed to Una Buena Piazza's Patreon, but she comes out with some really cool stuff for the Patreon. I don't know if she does like I do, where she eventually releases it to the public, but it's very cool stuff. We have a bunch of her patterns on backlog as well. There's a couple that I want to do on the 20 count Black Ada because they're little tiny motifs. Like, some of them are maybe 5 or 6 stitches. Can you imagine how tiny those are going to be on 20 count Ada? They're itty bitty. The whole thing is going to be like 10 inches tall. It's itty bitty. I'm very excited about that. I just haven't quite decided which one I want to do. I think I'm going to do the space one. We have the space one, like the long garden ones. We have the space one, night garden. Actually, I might do night garden. Either space or night garden. I have the dinosaur one and the under the sea one, which wouldn't look as good on black. But night garden might be a really fun stitch. Ah, I want to stitch all of the things. There's too many of the things that I wish to stitch. Shazzy says that is my plan. I'm outside of the house all day. You just want to sit and not move. I completely understand you there. I would say that is 100% valid. Alright, we just gotta give our little pumpkin stems, and then these are done. That's another color finish. I hope you guys are enjoying the Patreon posts. I'm trying to do more like newsletter behind the scenes stuff. I really am enjoying doing these ones for the marketplace releases, which are only available to pay Patreons. So like for the marketplace releases, I'm sending the Patreons get to see it, and then a couple days later everybody else is going to see it. Design question. In Cozy Quaker, in the center of the motif with the acorns, is there supposed to be raccoons? I don't think so. I don't remember designing raccoons. But yeah, I've been doing like little behind the scenes stories about the designs and how, like, kind of the process of designing it and what inspired it and that kind of thing. I would love to be able to create like reels and videos of the design process of things. I started to take snapshots of different stages of Cat Cafe and then completely forgot to do that. I don't know, I just always forget to film it in the moment, and then afterwards I'm like, oh, I should have done that. But also, I don't really have the time or energy for making videos. There are already so many that I want to make. I want the tutorial. I want to make tutorial videos. More tutorial videos. Because I have one about how to start a kit. But I have other ideas for tutorial videos. And now that I have a better webcam setup, I want to refilm some of the tutorials. I have a better setup now. The camera's clearer. I know what I'm doing a little bit more. That kind of thing. Okay, I need the green. What green is it? 703. Mike says, I really like the little videos from Amanda Infiniberry Designs that shows the design process. I know, right? I love those. She does the whole speed paint. And like, I don't know what program she uses. It's more of a pixel design program than an across-stitch design program. So I don't know what program she uses, but I really love watching her do the speed paints. I was watching, I saw a video from JetX Stitch that was showing the speed paint of their Midsummer Stitch exclusive. So I started watching it, and she starts off with like, how many strands are you? Oh, you're 3. I almost stitched with 3 strands. She started off the design with like moths and frogs and like more moths, and I'm like, oh no, I'm cooked. I'm gonna need to stitch this pattern. And then by the time she was done designing, the focal motif of the pattern are 2 large flowers. And I'm just like, I'm not really that into it. But if it was just the background motifs of like the frogs and the moths and things, I would be cooked. I would have to get it. I don't, so I'm not going to Midsummer Stitch today. Midsummer Stitch is the virtual retreat hosted by Lindy Stitches that's going on this weekend. And of course there's exclusive patterns and a shopping haul and all kinds of good stuff. I heard there's a floss tuber panel as well. Interesting. Because I mean, floss tube has become super influential, I feel. Even among the older stitchers. I believe, you guys don't, Infinity Bear really helped me out when I was starting out. I love her designs. They are great for beginners too, especially if you love cats and like cosmic stuff. You should definitely check her out. I know how hard it is to find new designers. In our Discord server, I posted a list of all the designers that are participating in Marketplace. So if you aren't familiar with some of them on the list, go check them out. I might, like, I don't really want to curate a list of my own because I feel like mainly X Stitch has done a great job of that as well. And also we have a channel in the server of shops that the community recommends. What is Marketplace? So Needlework Marketplace is a online wholesale show that happens at the end of August. So I will be there to promote our products, and then LNSs and ONSs will come to the show and purchase our patterns, basically. A lot of designers do Marketplace exclusives, which are only available through purchasing through Marketplace. And that, of course, like drives hype and drives sales and all that kind of stuff. So we are doing those. We have 5 exclusives coming out that we have been slowly revealing over the last few days. But yeah, it's a trade show basically, and we are very excited to be participating this year. We are hoping, so as part of the show, part of the sales process, I will be sending out our catalog to LNSs and ONSs. So places like 123 Stitch and Lindy Stitches and things like that, Barefoot Needle Arts, to promote our products. And a lot of them haven't heard of us. Most of them haven't heard of us, like Keymat Design has. And that's about it. So it's gonna hopefully get our name out there in a big way. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. Even if it isn't, it's gonna be a great experience, and we're gonna keep grinding away at this business. So the list of shops has not been given to the designers yet, so I haven't sent out the catalogs yet. I will let you guys know when I have done so. And if you do want one of the marketplace patterns, the best way to get it is to go to your LNS or whatever ONS you use and say like, hey, I saw this pattern from the Cozy DH. Are you going to have a pre-order? Or I would like to pre-order it, something like that. And then they will, that makes them more likely to come and look at our catalog. You do not have to. You do not have to do this. I'm just saying that if you would like one of these marketplace exclusives, you can find a shop that has them on pre-order or go to your local shop and ask if they will pre-order it. So it's so funny because the event is happening over the weekend of Toot and I's 17th anniversary. So I'm going to be spending it working. But we're celebrating our anniversary by doing the Toe Beans fundraiser. That is our anniversary celebration this year. So I hope you guys will have fun and enjoy that. We're going to be doing a couple of special streams. The pattern, of course, is going to come out. It's going to be good. Very excited. I thought this thread was longer. I didn't really need to carry it down here because I'm just going to be able to do one row of the cups. That's okay. Moon says, I'm excited for Marketplace and the fundraiser. I am too. I really hope the fundraiser goes well. Toe Beans is 100% a fantastic rescue and organization, and I hope that we can bring some awareness to their existence and also get them some money. Because what they are is they are a cat cafe. So they have a small cafe and a small shop, and you go in and you pay, I think it's $10 an hour to go and sit in the cafe, and then there are cats just like roaming the cafe. But the cats that they have are all available for adoption, and they all come from local rescues. So it's kind of like other local rescues funnel into Toe Beans. So you can get to know the cats a little bit. You can be around them, you can sit with them, you can come back and visit them. That kind of thing. So it's a really great place. And yeah, that was where we adopted Glenn. He stole Toot's heart 100%. Stole my heart too, let's be real honest. But for Toot, it was love at first sight, I'm pretty sure. I think the fact that he was a rescue is the only reason that we ended up with like a breed, because he's pure Siamese. Well, he was listed as pure Siamese. Toot says you do have to be pre-approved to adopt, and they won't let you adopt a cat that wouldn't be a good fit for your home. Which I love. Yeah, I had to do a pre-approval. I had to provide references. I had to provide 2 personal references. I had to do a pre-approval, all this kind of stuff before we were allowed to, like, we could have come in and hung out with the cats by paying the $10, but in order to adopt, you have to go through the approval process, and they do make sure they match the right houses, the right homes. And she says, what can I say? I'm a boy mom. She's a boy mom. Well, I'm down here. I'm going to keep working on the cups here. Going to see if I can get a color finish on the white. Because, of course, they have a layer of whipped cream on them. Foam, whipped cream, whatever you want to call it. Have it. Let me unwrap you. Ooh, I have to start a new thread, and I'm doing a Freddie Mercury pull here. For how many stitches? 15 stitches. I'm starting a new thread. Shazzy says, I am too. She's also a boy mom. All your kitties are boys but two, and one of the females isn't mine. She's my brother's, but she hangs out with me most of the time. Cats will choose their person and then their backup person. It's so funny. Toot was helping me feed the kids last night. And because I'm the one who gives them food, they weren't following her. Like, she was holding the food, she was like shaking the food, she was calling them, and they were just sitting there staring at me like, yes, food? Food time now? Is it food now? Hey Jilly, welcome in! They would not go to Toot with the food until I started walking in that direction. Toot is the mama, I am the food giver person. I'm the chef. I'm not even the chef, I'm the Uber driver. Mine will tell Mr. Shazzy when it's bedtime. If he's not home, they will sit and yawn at me. Cats are very good at routines. Like, I've heard the saying that if you want to get on a routine and do something on a schedule, get your cat involved, because they will remember the schedule better than you will. Like, they know things. It says if I try to stay at past 10, you get in trouble with your boy. Yeah, it's so true. They'll come into the room and just be like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? We're going to bed now. Of course, I have my little pumpkin spice needle minder from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Not Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which I got ages ago. Like 2018 or something. Before Etsy was really a thing, Frosted Pumpkin was one of the only, like, non-Hade, non-traditional 90s butter mom stuff that you could find. The frickle frack did I do? Okay, that's fine. So I got a couple of their patterns, and yeah, I did one of their sals. It was like a fairy book sal. And then I started Jack's Halloween, and I didn't finish it, and I got rid of it, and I'm kind of sad that I got rid of it, because I would have finished it now. However, I don't really stitch their stuff anymore, because they are one of the ones who haven't adopted PK yet, or Pattern Keeper, or Markup yet. And also their latest stitch along is Circus Animals, which is like, for me. But it's mainly the PK thing. I have opinions about designers who don't have PK compatible files. I do appreciate Stitch Sprout labels hers as PK-ish compatible. Just ish. It works, but it's not the greatest. Shazzy says the cats will sit at the top of the stairs by the bedroom door like, Mom, it's bedtime. The need to make biscuits is strong with some of them. They must biscuit. It is time to biscuit. I just wanted to pet early a little bit. That was what that was. Small petting early break. She is more or less awake now. I've really enjoyed stream with you guys today. I don't know how you like the slightly longer stream than usual. We're going to try it again next week. I mean, we are going to try it again next week because we're the first stop on the raid train. Again, July 25th and 26th. Raid train. We are the first stop. We're kicking off the party, so be here. 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll be raiding out at 1 p.m. to another streamer who will take you to another streamer who will take you to another streamer. And we're trying to... Moon is trying to showcase streamers that you might not have heard, like smaller streamers you might not have heard of, streamers who aren't part of a stream team, that kind of thing. So I'm really hoping that we all make some new friends, discover some new creators that we like. It's gonna be really good. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to a chill stitchy weekend. Billy says, I've got a concert on the 25th, so probably won't make it. Oh, that's too bad. That's okay. We will have fun. We will. Shazzy is a mod for one of those streamers. You're excited? Yes. Yes. And Moon says, I've enjoyed spending more time. Where did you come from, little fluff? Go away, little fluff. Moon said, I've enjoyed spending more time with you and everyone. Lady K says, I swear I did not set my next craft stream for the 25th to overlap this on purpose. 24 hours of cross stitch. Let's go. It's gonna be your first concert and your friend invited you yesterday. Ooh, who are you gonna go see? I would like to know. My first concert was Great Big Sea. And it was actually Great Big Sea was the opener. This was before they got big. The concert was for Susan Aglukar, who was a First Nations recording artist who has faded into somewhat obscurity now. And Toot says to Shazzy, we're excited too. I hope Tangled knows how much we absolutely adore her. Yes, we do. We're so excited for Tangled's stream. We are definitely going to be there. It's going to be Lovejoy. Ooh, in Brighton because my friend really likes them, so I've been trying to study up on their songs. Nice. That is going to be fun. I hope you have a great time. And Moon is excited but a bit nervous for next weekend. You guys got this. Shazzy says about Tangled, I adore her too. She's the sweetest, bestest friend ever. She's excited about this, and I'm so proud of her for doing it and stepping out of her comfort zone and showcasing her craftiness. We are proud of her too. Heck yeah. Let's heckin' go. Okay, I'm going to do these 3 stitches and then we're going to wrap up. But yeah, we are so excited for Tangle's part of the stream, and I'm really glad that she stepped out of her comfort zone to join the raid train. I've never done a raid train either. So I'm not getting like the full raid train experience because I am the first stop, so I won't have anyone raiding into me. But I'm excited. I am really excited to be part of this, and I hope it becomes a regular thing, but I don't want to put too much on Moon. It'll be Moon's first one too. Oh, yes. Heck yeah, let's go. Let's heckin' go. Alright. Early cam for you guys. Toot will spread the hydration. Yes. Toot always spreads the hydration. Speaking the word of the hydration. Spreading the good news of the drink goblin. Toot says, hi, my name is Toot, and I ride this raid train to educate streamers on the importance of hydrate cooldowns. Yup. You have your raid train message ready to go. Yeah, that is what it's gonna be. Toot definitely made a name for themselves on a different raid train. Like, people saw her coming and went, oh shit, I better set that hydrate cooldown. Chelsea has their hydrate on a cooldown for a reason. Mine is on a 13-minute cooldown. Why is it 13 minutes? I had a reason. I can't remember now. I'm hydrating now. Okay, but we are going to wrap up. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit more early cam. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I had such a good time. And I hope you did as well. So I will be back on Monday for co-working, and Toot will be back tomorrow morning for Faz. We're going to be saying goodbye to Willow before the new update. So definitely follow Toot for some very cozy, very chill, no mic gaming streams. It's completely like hanging out with your older sibling while they're playing and you're just chilling. There's a task list up. It's great. You're so welcome, Mike. You particularly enjoyed the ghost stories. Good, I'm glad. But yeah, definitely follow Toot. She's doing Fast tomorrow morning, and then I'll be back on Monday. But as always, all of the schedules will be posted in the Discord. I've been talking about the Patreon, getting advance notice of the patterns. So check out the Patreon. You can join as a free member and you'll get newsletters. If you join as a paid member, you'll get the extra newsletters with like extra behind the scenes stuff, extra cat pictures, as well as a mini pattern. And if you sign up for a higher tier, you get a larger pattern every month as well. And for next month, I'm really, really excited because it is, it's one of my favorite patterns I've ever designed. So it's going to be really good. I think that is all, and then follow on Instagram as well, because I post there most often. And thank you, Nightbot, or Fix It Up, for posting the link to the shop. I didn't even have to do that. Go check out the shop. I'm so proud of it. But that being said, I'm going to turn off the early cam now. Alright, my friends, let's find someone to raid out to. Keep the party going. If you are subbed, please copy the first message. If you're not subbed, please copy the second message. Alright, we're going to go hang out with Madame Acula. Oh, my ad is about to start. So let's start the raid quickly. Alright, my friends, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in the Discord server. I will see you in the coffee shop. I will see you in Binks' special high perch on the snake enclosures. But most importantly, my friends, I will see you in my heart. Alright, bye guys. Bye bye.